I just want to start out by asking you, how important an event like this is for Saudi Arabia and how it fits into your 2030 vision.
Perfect. It's great to be here, Jumana. Since the start of Vision 2030, Riyadh and the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia has become a open, dynamic, global platform for these kinds of discussions. The Kingdom is keen to put forward solutions and actually action them with the global community for our main challenges. We saw in Davos, a level of uncertainty led to a large number of people coming there. We see the same energy here in Riyadh. This is the strongest summit outside of Davos ever, and we're hoping that people's convening, because of the Kingdom's convening power combined with the forum's convening power, will lead thought leadership to solutions and then to actions that we can benefit from.
Well, I've got to say, it's my first time in Riyadh, and people tell me that there's been a tremendous amount of growth and transformation in the last 5 years. Can you just give us a mark-to-market on where Saudi 2030 vision stands? There's been some talk that some mega projects have had to be dialed back. Where do we stand in terms of implementation?
So we're in implementation phase. We've launched several strategies, many strategies over the last few years. The momentum of the vision is moving very steadfastly. We're focusing on accelerating diversification, and we have the numbers there. You've seen our non-oil growth momentum picking up. We've been focusing on human capital development outcomes. Female labor force participation doubled since the start of the vision. Unemployment at its lowest ever since we started recording it decades ago. And we're also focusing on building strong institutions that help us engage with the challenges with policies. As part of this and as part of diversifying, we have many mega projects that have been launched. We've been working on something very unprecedented. We started delivering and we'll continue delivering. The Kingdom will deliver all of these unprecedented projects. These projects are anchored in economics, and we're seeing more investor interest in them. They will be delivering their intended scale, and we will prioritize as things go. We get feedback from the market, from the investors. We'll do whatever is best for these returns of these projects, but also for whatever is good for the economy.
Maybe it's a bit early for me to ask, but what comes after Saudi 2030?
So this is a long-term journey. Vision 2030 is a blueprint for us to accelerate diversification, kick up human capital development outcomes, and build strong institutions. What's after that, 2040, 2050, is a similar structure where we'll set out clear vision for where we want to be through another blueprint, and we'll work towards that. Work has begun to think about and start designing what will happen after Vision 2030 within the government.
Okay, so there could be a blueprint coming for the future.
Absolutely, yes.
Okay. Geopolitics are dominating discussions here. The U.S. Secretary of State Blinken is in Riyadh having talks, high level. I was on a panel yesterday with His Excellency Jad'an, and he was saying the number one risk right now is geopolitics. From an economic perspective, what sort of impact are you seeing right now on the Saudi economy from everything that's happening in the region?
Well, what we're focusing on is through our diplomatic team, our diplomatic engine, bringing a solution to major geopolitical challenges. Right now, these don't have a direct impact on the Kingdom's transformation or its plans. But we are more integrated in the global community. We don't want things that are happening in Europe or anywhere in the world or in the Middle East to impact that. But we also realize that if we continue our journey with this transformation, we'll be in a stronger position to help the region around us. A stronger Saudi is a stronger Middle East. A stronger, stable Middle East is better for the global economy. So we're continuously monitoring, and we want to work through our diplomatic team to bring solutions to these challenges, but we'll continue steadfastly delivering on our vision.
How key is regional political stability in terms of helping you fully implement Saudi 2030 vision?
So with the implementation of Vision 2030 comes a lot of impact on, obviously, Saudi economy and society, but also on the region. It's an example, but also it has direct trickle-down effect on everyone. And of course, any regional challenges will be addressed. And up until recently, major wrinkles in the region were ironed out due to Saudi leadership, of course, with its partners.
Yeah.
And we'll continue to do that. So it's very important that we don't let any regional challenges disrupt our plans, but also it's very important for us, for our plans to continue in their delivery so that we can have an impact on the region and the world.
Well, I know you're key in some of these negotiations that are taking place for trade deals. I'm curious to see, in the context of geopolitical tension, the sensitivity right now between U.S. and China, has that impacted at all your ability to ink trade deals with China and investment flows?
The kingdom has always had strong relations with its partners and with its friends. These involve trade profiles, these involve investment opportunities, but also technical and policy discussions. And since Vision 2030, these relationships have grown stronger and stronger. The kingdom is centered, its location is in the perfect place between north and south, east and west, and we want to have a strong impact on bringing people together, convening them, bringing a dialogue together, addressing any challenges. We believe there's always a better opportunity to achieve more growth through less fragmentation and more collaboration.
What about an update on BRICS membership? I know Saudi Arabia was invited to join. What's the latest?
Well, like any invitation to any large multinational institution, the kingdom has its own process, and it's undergoing that process as we speak.
Let's just circle back to where we started. Saudi 2030 vision, of course, is a major theme here, and you see it. It's very visible. You can physically see the city being transformed before our eyes. I'm just going to leave with a question about how you actually see the non-oil sector performing in 2024.
So it's very important to keep in mind that in 2022, we were the fastest growing G20 economy. Underpinning that was strong non-oil sector growth or non-oil activities growth. That is still continuing. In 2023, it grew at 4.4%. We project that it will continue growing between 4 and 5 for 24. The IMF projects 5%. The IMF projects 5.1% in 2025. The IMF actually projects that our total GDP will grow at a rate of 6% 2025, meaning we'll be the second fastest growing economy in the G20 after India. In 2023, we grew, if you look at our non-oil growth, we were the third fastest in the G20. What's also important that, as you said, this is real economic change that's yielding results. At the end of 23, our non-oil activities represented 50% of total real GDP for the first time ever. So this means this transformation is working. This is due to Vision 2030, all the activities that are coming into our non-oil economy. And we are planning and we will see more activities contributing, which will create even more opportunities for people in Saudi, but also for our partners around the world.
That number 50% I think is key because people forget that back in 2016 it was sub 5%. So that is really a very good
it's growing
depiction
in a healthy way.
of what you've done.